Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualize DNZ, and I'm going to work on not one but 2 weeks of the Margarete Miller Collage Weekly Planner Challenge. Because I've been away on holiday, I've missed a week, so I'm going to attempt to do both together in this video. So I'm just grabbing my glue to ready. Okay, so for week 7, which is the one that I'm missing because that's when I was away on holiday, week 7 was something that squeaks or honks. So I've got this little image of a guinea pig as something that squeaks. Cake. So I've got out of a recipe book, a vintage recipe book, this big 3-tier wedding cake, which I thought was pretty cool. A pair of something. I found this and I thought it was kind of cool. While I was away on holiday, we went into a few art galleries and they had some free magazines to give away. And this one I think was called Asian News, and it's got Asian or Japanese, and as it happens to be, Japanese whiskey. I didn't know they made whiskey in Japan, but this is Japanese whiskey, and it had these 2 bottles. And I loved the image of this geisha lady with the gold fan and just the bottles with the stoppers. I thought they were quite cool. So that's my pair of something. Something torn, I've got an idea for that. Math symbol, that was really hard. I ended up finding this little bit out of a Guinness Book of World Records where it's got this little formula here. And that's all I could find. I only looked in that book, to be honest, but I found this little formula, so that can go somewhere. And if I don't have anything else that's torn, then that bit of torn edge will suffice. And then the bonus is pattern paper. So I've got this bit of pattern paper here out of an old sewing pattern. So that's the pieces for week 7 that I'm going with. And first, I think we will go with our wedding cake image, and I've just got a plain bit of A4 paper here, but I am thinking about just trimming it down a bit. I don't think I want quite so much real estate, so I'm just going to tear it off to the height of the recipe book page to start with. It's not actually copy paper, it's a bond paper that was left over from something, probably that my husband brought home from one of his jobs. And I don't know if you've noticed, brand new cutting mat underneath. This is my first time using it, like it's just lived under my old cutting mat. And as I was preparing for this video, I thought I'm going to bring it to the surface and give it some love and hopefully not get it glue on it or anything. And I'm not planning on cutting, so it's going to stay pristine as long as possible. Right, so something like that. And we've got our lovely pair of bottles. So holes will be punched down this side, so I need to be mindful of that. Or do I want it round the other way? So this over this side. And our pair of bottles over here. Maybe like that. Our little formula here can really go anywhere. Because I could tear it right down to just around the formula. I'm going to pop it under. I think I do want to cut it down a bit. Could even put it sideways. You know, there's no rules that we can't. So we could have it just popping out the side of the neck of the bottle. I actually quite like that. So let's fussy cut around this little guinea pig. Cute little fellow. I had grabbed out heaps and heaps of images that could have gone with the squeak or honk. And I had lots of birds, like geese and ducks, that type of bird. And I had, what else did I have? An otter, because they kind of squeak a little bit. I had a few other things, and I was really trying to look for something that wasn't an animal, but I wasn't finding much. So I thought, well, guinea pig, probably not a lot of people will use a guinea pig for this prompt, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to look for things that, you know, other people perhaps aren't choosing to use or haven't thought to use. So the birds were a backup because to me they seemed obvious, and there's nothing wrong with obvious. I just want to try and be a little bit different. So we could pop our guinea pig on our cake, having a wee nibble somewhere there, not sure where. Maybe on this middle tier might be. I kind of like that. Right, pattern paper. So I think I'll just sprinkle it round maybe. Maybe a bit up this top corner to get rid of that white space up there. Maybe cut that down a little bit. So I told you the other day about how I'd been to have a blood test, and today I had a doctor's appointment, and all my results are really good, apart from one that had some sort of contamination and that apparently is quite common, but it needs retesting. So that's fine. I'll go in on next week and get that blood taken and redo that one. But the rest of them, the results were so good, and it was so pleasing. All my health markers are coming down, sort of. They were actually in normal range. Now some of those things I'm still on medication for, so that could be playing in, but normally they'd be like on medication plus they were still abnormal, but now they're normal and heading towards the lower end of the range. So I couldn't have been happier, and the doctor was really happy too. So that was super cool. Always good to get a good report from the doctor. I've had so many years of not getting good reports, and you know, getting the stern look as if I was doing something wrong when I haven't. You know, we just got certain challenges when it comes to health. We're all different, and we all have different challenges. And yeah, I so happened to have a lot. The doctor was a new doctor, because quite often can't get in to see the same doctor, and so I hadn't met her before, and she was going down the list of pre-existing conditions on my history, and she was like, this and this and this and this and this, and oh my gosh, it just keeps on going. That was actually her words, which I thought was quite funny. It's like, yep, welcome to my life. But when you see improvements, it's just like, makes me super happy that things are all headed in the right direction after so many years of, just to be honest, just having meds thrown at me, and like, well, this is a problem, so we'll just put you on medication, and you know, medication after medication after medication, and then you've got to have other medications because those that they've already put you on cause other issues, and it's just a horrible cycle. And I do feel for anyone who is on that cycle, like I still am, but it's getting better, because it's not fun. Not fun having to take all these pills every day, but my pills have gone down from, I think I was on close to 24, 25, and now I take, I'm just counting, 6 in the morning, and that's it. So it's hugely improved from where it was. Okay, now I've actually put that way over this side. What was I thinking? I obviously wasn't. I was too busy chattering. Chatter. Never mind, we'll just work with it. I could trim off the side of the page and cut it down a bit. I'm not going to. I'm just going to work with it how it is, because it will be fine. Now I do need glue stick for this. I don't think wet glue, sorry, just reaching for my glue stick because I didn't think I'd need my glue stick. Yeah, sorry, I can't even remember what I was saying. It's late in the day. I normally film in the mornings, and it's after 4 o'clock, and so my brain's just like, nah, don't want to cooperate, don't know what you're saying, not retaining anything. Right, so have we still got room to put our twin bottles, our pair of bottles? I think we have. And I can still tuck that in there, but we'll give it a straight edge-ish. Right, so placement here is important. So we're going to lose quite a bit of our cake, but that's okay. We've still got the top tier here showing. I'll just put my lid on my glue stick so it doesn't get all dried out and gross. I just recently picked up these little needle tip bottles at a cheap store last weekend and put some of my tiki glue in. I've talked about it, I think, most of this week, so if you've seen all the other videos, then don't mind me. I'm just in love with this little bottle and how easy and efficient it is, and how cost effective it is on the glue. Like, I'm using so much less. Whoops, it wasn't particularly straight. Never mind. There we go. So there's our little math formula, or math symbol is the prompt. So let's pop our bottles down. So yes, when I saw, I picked up 2 magazines from the art gallery. There was this one, so it was Asian News, and there was one called, ooh, what was it called? Sculpture or Sculpture World. I can't remember whether it was just Sculpture or Sculpture World. So, and I'd never seen them before, and I had a flick through. There were heaps there, but I just took one of each because I didn't want to be greedy, and I knew that I'd be cutting them up, and yeah. I didn't know how they would feel about that, although they were giving them away free. They were old issues that they didn't want anymore, so I'm sure they wouldn't have minded if I'd taken more. But I was conservative, leave some for somebody else who might like to enjoy them. And I thought, yeah, brilliant for different subject matter to what I would find in any other magazine to date. And I'm always on the lookout for different subject matter in magazines. Right, there's our pair of something, our pair of bottles. And we can still fit our little guinea pig here. Do we want his bottom end hanging out off the cake? We could put him up here, actually. Sort of. Yeah, let's put him there. I like him there. So I'm distracted because my phone dinged. I should have put it on Do Not Disturb, but I forgot. Right, so I like to wipe the tip just with my fingers before I close it up, just to keep it nice and clean. It doesn't get very gunky at all, and what's there is just tiny little residue. Right, put another bit up the top there, and I'm going to put it sideways of the pattern paper. So grab my glue book back. Now this could also be my torn element, because I have torn it, and I also tore the book page with formula on, although most of that's actually hidden. But I was thinking about something else as the torn element. I'm feeling like I need a third bit of the pattern paper now because I've got 2. So let's go and put a third bit in. Where do I want it? Maybe just down the middle there. Why not? Let's just pop it there. I'm going to change out my glue page, I think. Right, let's pop you just down there somewhere. About there, that'll do. Oops, I've got a glob of glue there. Let's get rid of that. Right, so now do I want to add something torn? Where will I add it if I do? I'm actually thinking I might just go with washi tape. It wasn't my plan, but I've got here my folder of magazine faux washi that I made in my latest Trash Craft Tuesday video, and I'm still making it. Like before I started recording this video, I was making more. Like, it's super addictive. It's really cool. What color? Sort of thinking along the browny orangey tones. So I've got some neutrals here. Got bright orange. That might be okay actually. Let's try a bit of this bright orange. And this is the one I was actually just making before the video. Before I started recording this video, I made this bit of faux washi. And here we are going to use a bit of it straight off the bat. So it's a bit there. So I'm going to hopefully tear it. I haven't tried tearing this. Oh, and it's not wanting to tear very easily. This is the good quality double-sided tape on this one, and it's not going to tear. Doesn't like being torn, so I might have to have just the pattern paper as my torn element, because this is not tearing. I suspect the other tape that I've used will tear okay, so maybe we'll grab it back out and try the narrower one. Put a strip down there, that one, and let's just grab this back out and try the narrow one here. Let's see how we get on tearing this. Yep, oh, much easier. Yep, this one tears absolutely perfectly. Oops, trying to get the backing off those, not so easy. Come on. Oh, there we go. It's just getting it started, isn't it? Just getting one edge off and then you're away. So here we go. There, and another one up in this top corner, I think. And because we've already got a torn edge, I'm going to just snip a bit. So we've got a few torn things, and I'm just going to go with that as my something torn. So our washi tape is torn, our book page, a little bit of book page here is torn, and our pattern paper is torn. So they're going to be my torn elements. Right, there we go. So let's just double check that we've got everything on there, and then we'll move on to the next week. So So week 7, which is this list, we've got something that squeaks or honks, we've got guinea pig, cake, got the wedding cake, pair of something, our bottles, something torn. Well, we've got, as I said, we've got a few elements that are torn. Math symbol over here, our math formula, and the pattern paper is the bonus. So I'm calling that one done, and this, our holes will be punched over here. So let's flip it over and let's get on to week 8. So just do a little, I don't need the pattern paper anymore, shove that aside. Right, so for week 8 we have something that has a plug. So I've got a couple of options here, 2 different styles of radio. I'm tending to go with this wooden look one, a house, and again I've got a couple of options. Photo of your family or family member. So I've got this photo here, it's from 1993 of my niece. She was only, I'm not sure how old, doesn't say what month it was taken, but she was just a baby. She's turning 30 next month. I can't believe it. And this weekend I'm actually getting to see her, and I haven't seen her in probably 4 years. So super excited about that, and really good time to get this prompt. So because she's heavily on my mind, love her to bits and really miss her. She lives in a different country. She lives in Australia now. So really, really miss her. So that's my photo of a family member. Then we've got a piece of letter or postcard. I've got this digital printable of a postcard. I can't remember where I got it from. Sorry, I suspect it was from Weathered Textures on Etsy, but I'm not sure. And then the bonus is, stitching, real, drawn or stamped. So I plan on doing some real stitching, hopefully, if I don't forget. And then the bonus is cursive, and I've got this little printable ticket written in, I think it's Swedish, and I translated it because I had this whole, it was a free printable from this lady's blog, and I didn't know what any of them meant, so I googled all the phrases, and this one apparently says, do you want to go on a date? So, and I'd written all the meanings around on the printable. So I don't really mind what it says, but I thought I'd tell you that anyway. So let's have a play. So my picture of my niece, her name is Amber. My beautiful, beautiful niece. She was a flower girl at my husband's and I wedding, and she was 6 at the time. Right, I'm going to cut this out because I think I like the neutral colours of this and the old sort of styling of it rather than the black one, the more modern plastic black one. I mean, this is probably plastic, but it just looks like wood. It's from an advertisement. Nice straight edges to cut out. Oops, like that. So we'll put that one aside because I'm not going to use it. Oh, I can feel this was printed on presentation paper. It's thicker than copy paper. So I'm just going to put the whole thing down, I think. Because technically it's a piece because it hasn't got both sides. Is that cheating? I don't know. I'm going with it. Now I really like this one with the old caravan at the front, but I am thinking to take up more space, I'm quite liking this one with the little house down the bottom, and could go, so our holes are on this side, so I don't want to put holes in the photo of my niece, so we'll put her on the other side. Maybe put the postcard up the top. What else did we have? We had stitching and our cursive. So cut the ticket out. So I'm not liking the arrangement so far. So I definitely need to play with how I'm going to arrange this all, because it's not really speaking to me at the moment. This one could take longer to bring together than the other side. So we could go this up here instead. And we could bring my niece down centre. Now, I don't mind if we've got a bit of white. I mean, I try and cover it all, but I'm not going to be too worried about it. I don't know, guys. This is just not seeming to work for me. I also want to cover over this word homes. I don't know why, I just do. Maybe I need to be creative and put it on an angle or something. Maybe that'll float my boat. No, it's just not working for me. Perhaps if we move it over a little bit. And maybe we put our postcard down that way instead. I think maybe the straight edges are what bothering me. I could almost need more things, if you know what I mean. How can I put more things in? I still need to do the stitching. Here I am, rolling my sleeves up. So I need to solve this problem. And I think I'm going to leave the white border around this bit of magazine image. It just blends into the background. There's no need to cut it off just for the sake of cutting it off. Oh, that's not so bad. It's kind of... Actually, I know what I want to do. And I did think about it, but thought, no, I don't need to do that. I think I want more of the tickets. I think I want 3. So, the blog that these tickets are from is MissCutiePieGoes80s.blogspot.com, and this ticket set is called The 80s Me Love Tickets Part 2. So there you go. I will try and put that in the description box because it's quite long and hard to remember. So this one says I can't remember. So it just says something. So that one, and this one over here says, do you know about love? Well, that's the translation I found. I don't know whether my translations are right. It's just using Google and putting phrases in and seeing what pops out, and that's what I got popping out. So if it's wrong, blame Google, not me. But once I've cut them out from where I've written the explanation of what they were, I mean, it doesn't really matter either, does it? They're all sayings about love, to do with love, and that's not a bad thing. Right, So I think I need 3 of these to help balance my composition. And I think I'll ink them up too. They're just printed on normal copy paper. So I think I want to bring in some of these browner tones, because they're quite white. Whoops, I just trimmed off the black border off that, so I definitely need to ink it now. So there we go. Yeah, see, straight away I am liking that a whole lot better. Right, so stitching. I want to do some real stitching because it's nice to introduce a different texture. Thinking maybe green, just to bring in some of this green up here. So the green won't match probably. Got a few different options here though, so let's have a look. Or maybe that one might work. Brighter grassy green. Where's the end? Here we go. So I needed to remember to do this before I glued everything down, because I didn't want to stitch through onto the other collage that I've already done. I could have done this one first, of course, but then I'd be gluing over top of stitches. So I'm just going to do some simple stitching, nothing too wild or fancy. I'm not going to knot it because I don't want the extra bulk of the knot. So how much? So let's go basically up through the middle. So I'm going to just hold, sorry, hopefully I'm in camera. Just going to do a few crosses, like kisses. Very wonky kisses, like they're not going to be perfect X's, but they will be X's. And these are to tie in with our little labels here, which talk about love, and also for my niece. I love kissing and hugging that girl. She is just someone I love very dearly and miss a great deal. So I can't wait to see her at the weekend. No, I'm just going to make a row of fabulously funky little crosses. And I'm using 3 strands of embroidery floss for this. I could have taken it down to 1 or 2, but I just had 3 there, so that's what I'm using. Oops. And they're not going to be straight either. Right, how's that? And maybe I'll do just going to take the thread further and do a little cluster of 3 as well, just to bring some more randomness in. Try not to poke myself with the needle. One in that space where the stamp goes on the postcard. There. And there's our stitching. So what I might do is pop a little bit of tape on the back. Do I need to put tape on the back? I think I will. Just so nothing goes wrong when I'm gluing it down, or over time if I don't happen to put glue across these. Just a bit of tape. There we go. Just a bit of insurance. Right. Okay, let's glue things down. And I can fiddle a little bit more, or I better put the needle away before I end up with it on the floor in my foot or something. Not nice. So let's just take care of that first. Safety first. Right, and remember I need to ink my labels, my tickets there. Don't forget. Right, so again just using my tacky glue. Oops, don't want you glued yet. And I could have cut this image down so it was just the house, but I wanted to cover more of my page, so I've just left that all on. Oops, I got glue on my new mat. Oh no. Knew it was going to happen. Right, so that's there. Now our holes are over this side. Okay, so that's fine. So this will be perfectly safe over here. Oops. I was hoping to do my 100-day project as part of this video as well, but I don't know if we'll have time. I'll just have to check the time once I've got this done and see whether we have a minute or two to look at my 100-day project for today. Which is actually tomorrow. Today? I don't know. Whenever. My next 100-day project day. Right. Got our stitching, and it just brings in some of that green from this beautiful big tree here. Okay, so my niece. Yeah. So we are something with a plug. I'm going to bring that down a bit maybe. Yep, I like that. So let's pop this down first. Oh, my bottle was squeaking. That was interesting. I could have glued my glue bottle down as something that squeaked on that last collage. Don't know why it was squeaking, but it was. Maybe it was the metal tip on the shiny paper. Right, so let's get a bit of ink onto these tickets. And I'm just going to lightly dab just on top, just to bring in a bit of colour into them. Take away some of that white. Just softly. Here we go. So I wanted one that went, did it go over or go under? I think I like it over. So I'm going to glue this one under. And then put my beautiful niece. I actually tore it off a, it was mounted to a bit of card. I'm not sure what it was originally on, like that bit of card. It was cut square right to the edge of it. I don't know why or who did it, whether it was me or somebody else, but anyway, doesn't matter now. It's going to find a new home. Oh, isn't she adorable? So cute. And this teddy was my brother's. I'm not sure whether it was her father's or my older brother, the oldest brother, or whether they both had it at different times. But yeah, family heirloom, that teddy bear. I don't know if it's still in the family or not. It was very well loved in its time. Or whether it got chucked out because people didn't value it anymore as adults. I don't know. Kind of sad if it did get thrown out. Oh, I really like how this has come together after struggling with it. I am really happy with it now. Right, do I want to add a little bit of washi? I've got this gap up here. So I am thinking yes, and I'm thinking back to my faux washi, because it is just so much fun to make and so much fun to use. See, I'm looking at her red jersey that she's wearing there. I'm wondering whether I should bring in some more red. Why not? Let's do it. Oh, that was easy to peel apart this time. Must have been holding my tongue the right way. Put it up there. Washi tape is wonderful for just that, being that finishing element to bring things together and just make it feel complete. there, I think. Like that. There we go, and then we've just got more of that red in there as well. So we've got the red, we've got the green repeating, and there's green in this toy that she's playing with. So I'm really happy with how that came together. So just to double check, we've got everything. Something that has a plug, we've got our radio, a house, photo, piece of letter or postcard, stitching, we've got our real stitching here, and cursive, and we've got that in these tickets. So there we go, my responses for week 7 and week 8 of the Margarete Miller challenge. And we haven't really got time to do the 100-day project. I could make this video longer, but I'm not going to. I think I'm happy with what we achieved today. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're doing the challenge, this Margarete Miller challenge, I hope you're really enjoying it, and let me know if you are doing it, and I'll take a look at what you've done if you're posting it somewhere. So let me know where you're posting your collages if you're doing them. Thanks so much for joining me again today. I love having you here with me. Say hi. Love to say hi back, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.